Yeah, bring it on!
One Piece. Two words that send a pained groan throughout the entire anime community. A gargantuan series some have never started, and many are still watching to see how it all ends. Believe it or not, One Piece will end eventually, and there are a lot of unanswered questions and loose ends that we hope to see. The biggest one looming over everyone's head is, of course, just what exactly is One Piece? What will be waiting for everybody at the end of the Grand Line? Well, there are theories, and some are more far-fetched than others. Let's talk about them, right here, right now. A popular thought experiment for what could be One Piece is the location of the three ancient weapons: Pluton, Uranus, and Poseidon. These are the three weapons that were capable of great power.
Oh, you guys, you're so awesome!
Pluton was a ship created in Water 7, but its current location is still unknown. We first hear about Pluton during the Alabasta arc when Crocodile talks to Nefertari Cobra about it. Pluton's location is said to be hidden within the Poneglyph in Alabasta's royal archives. This explains why Nico Robin was working with Crocodile and Baroque works during the Alabasta arc. Nico Robin was able to read the Poneglyph. She kept the truth from Crocodile about where Pluton was located. We don't hear about Pluton again until the Water 7 arc, where it is revealed that Frankie has the blueprints to Pluton. The ship was made in Water 7. Dockhands and shipwrights alike kept the plans of Pluton secret so another massive war machine would never be built again. So far, Pluton is the only one of the three weapons that had known blueprints until Frankie destroyed them. Could the remaining weapons be found at the end of the Grand Line? All three in one piece? In the end, Frankie destroyed the blueprints, and the location of the massive warship is unknown. Now, it wouldn't be One Piece without devil fruits. Monkey D. Luffy is the boy who ate the gum-gum fruit and became a rubber man. In One Piece's 950-plus run, we've seen a plethora of devil fruits. Devil fruits are a simple but wacky superpower that exists in this world. These powers can range from mundane utilities to awesome powers, and all you have to give up is your ability to swim. It may not sound like a lot, but when you live in a seafaring world made mostly of small islands, swimming is kind of a big deal. Devil fruits have come a long way since they were first introduced, and each new fruit we are given is even stranger than the last. We know a lot about devil fruits. For example, we know that once a user dies, their fruit appears somewhere in the world. However, where did they come from? How are devil fruits made? The current arc is dealing with artificial devil fruits, but no one knows how the real ones are made. It's entirely possible the origins of devil fruits could be found in One Piece. It's often said that it is all about the journey, not the destination. The real value in any adventure is about the friends you make along the way, and the memories that'll last a lifetime. It's said that when Gol D Roger arrived at the end of the Grand Line, what he saw made him and everyone with him laugh out loud. Roger's first mate trained Luffy during the time skip, and knows what lies at the end of it all. He offers to tell Luffy, but Luffy refuses. To him, the end ultimately doesn't matter. What matters instead is the adventure. While it would be anticlimactic for the big treasure at the end to be nothing more than the power of friendship, it would be fitting with One Piece's theme of freedom, adventure, and friendship. I guess it would also be a huge inconvenience for the massive political powers in the One Piece world to find out Gol D. Roger's legacy was just being friends. The world government, the Four Yonko, and thousands of other pirates would be pretty pissed with a mere life lesson. But I guess if they couldn't appreciate the adventure, then they were never going to make it to the end of the Grand Line anyway. Speaking to the exact opposite of our last entry, One Piece could just be a treasure trove to end all treasure troves. One Piece could be a vault full of money and jewels so dang big that it would make Scrooge McDuck look poor. It's no secret that a pirate's life is a never-ending quest for booty. I mean, it's what real-life pirates did for a living. They would find a ship with plenty of booty, plunder said ship for booty, and then repeat the cycle until they were killed or died very rich, booty-filled men. Of course, One Piece pirates are not like real-life pirates in a lot of ways, weird power-granting fruit aside. One Piece pirates are rulers of entire nations, or even work as attack dogs for the world government. The idea that Gol D. Roger's legacy was just a vast sum of money seems about as anticlimactic as friendship. Still, I know that a few characters would be more than happy with vast sums of cash, some of which are Straw Hat pirates. Perhaps when Roger said, "I left everything in One Piece," he meant his legacy was a giant golden nugget. Like maybe the entire island was one big old gold nugget. One piece of gold. One Piece has its fair share of mysteries as well as adventures. During one of Eiichiro Oda's first SBS questions and answers corners, someone asked him what the D stood for in Luffy's name. Oda merely replied that it was just supposed to be a D and that he would fill in the blanks later. Well, it's been 20 years and we still don't know what the D stands for. Dubbed the Will of D, this mystery in One Piece is about the influential figures who all have the initial D, Eurobeat intensifies, in their name. It seems everybody in Luffy's family's got it, from his half-brother, grandpa, and father. Gol D, Roger, of course, as well as many other notable figures, all have the initial D, Eurobeat intensifies. We haven't been given many clues about it, only that all the D bearers seem to be connected in some way, if not by blood, then by their shared influence. Ganfall mentioned that Luffy gave off the same vibe as Gol D. Roger when he visited Skypiea. What could this all be leading to? We're still not sure, but the answers could be revealed in One Piece. The allure of One Piece literally drives the entire world crazy. What could it be? It could be anything? It is anything, but what if it was all just a lie? Now, similar to our previous entries where we talked about friendship and other garbage like that, this entry has to do with something called the Void Century. In a nutshell, the Void Century is a period of lost time. Well, it's not quite lost, but the world government has forbidden the discussion, study, or knowledge of this span of 100 years. It takes place 900-ish years before our main storyline, but it is said that if one were to discover the truth behind the Void Century, they would in essence know the true history of the world. Well, what if that's One Piece? What if what Gol D. Roger found on Raftel Island was the missing piece of the Void Century? And in order to spread this knowledge, he enticed an entire generation of free thinkers to seek out the truth. It sure would be a wild twist. Of all the intangible rewards Raftel could hold, this is by far the most realistic theory. After all, knowledge is power. Who is Joy Boy? Nobody knows, and quite frankly, I don't think we'll ever know until One Piece is over. But we can go over what we know about Joy Boy. What we have been able to gather is that he was a massively important figure during the Void Century. From the Fishman Island arc, we learned that 900 years ago, Joy Boy attempted to use the power of Poseidon, one of the three ancient weapons, to lift the massive ship named Noah, which was a giant ark made during the Void Century. Joy Boy was unable to fulfill his promise, but the people of Fishman vowed to keep Noah safe until his return. He left Fishman Island and found the island of Raftel, which Roger landed on, and it seemed he knew something about Joy Boy. Not much is known about this figure other than that, but both Fishman Island and Wano are looking forward to Joy Boy's return, which tells us this person either has a long lifespan or is immortal. Gol D. Roger knew something, and maybe we'll find it on Raftel. One Piece is also a game of hats. We know the straw hat is important. In the beginning, Shanks gives Luffy his straw hat, telling him that he will need it back one day. Shanks was on Gol D. Roger's crew, and he was the Pirate King. Now Shanks is a Yonko and one of the 4 people who is most likely to be the next king of the pirates. On top of all of this, we were shown a giant straw hat deep in a vault held by Im, the actual king of the world. What on earth is going on with all these hats and crowns? You heard it before, and we're saying it again. Could the secrets of Raftel and One Piece be the key to this power structure? Does the world government not want people in Raftel because it could unravel the established power structure? It would make sense, honestly. It seems that whenever a D-bearer is involved in something, it's against the interests of the world government. Raftel could hold the key to undoing Im and the world government altogether. I just want to know who that giant straw hat belongs to. In this video, we've talked about how One Piece could be a weapon. It could be riches, or friendship, or a relic from the past. We've even talked about how One Piece could be a force to disrupt the political powers that be in the world government. What if instead, it was just plain old knowledge? Way back, like 5,000 years ago, a tree was planted on the island of Ohara. It was the Tree of Knowledge and was a haven for scholars and researchers for millennia. And then everything changed when the people of Ohara figured out how to read the poneglyphs. And the entire island was destroyed along with all of its inhabitants. Well, all but one, Nico Robin. Could One Piece be a second tree of knowledge, perhaps? Silvers Riley has revealed he knows both what One Piece is and the knowledge of the Void Century. Nico Robin refused to know either, opting instead to learn for herself. But that might just be a clue as to what lies in Raftel. Maybe there's a second tree. Maybe from reading the poneglyphs, survivors from Ohara found Raftel. Who knows at this point? Okay, I feel like after going over some of the ending theories fans have pitched, it would only seem fair that I pitched my very own theory and add my 2-piece to this 1-piece. Now, for this theory, I'll be borrowing from different entries to come to one big conclusion. The end of One Piece will come when the entire world is unified as one. The world of One Piece is made up of tiny islands with no major landmass, except for the Red Line. Perhaps the knowledge of the Void Century was that back then, the world was united with different land masses and continents. But something happened that split the world apart and divided the world into these sectioned-off islands. Raftel is the last island in the Grand Line, where the Red Line also meets, and oddly enough, on the other side of the large mountain range, Luffy and his crew began their journey. Whatever is on Raftel, combined with what Luffy and his friends know about the world since Roger's time, could unite the world and allow for freedom. At the end of the day, One Piece is about freedom and adventure, and what better way to do that than to let people travel freely? And those were some of the theories as to what One Piece actually could be in the end. Let us know which theory you liked the most. Personally, I think One Piece is connected more to the Void Century than to any kind of actual treasure. It just seems like the most fulfilling, you know? Be sure to subscribe to CBR for more awesome anime content.